Free dirty jokes, dirty jokes. Free dirty bar jokes. Hand job. 3 guys go to a ski lodge, and there aren't enough rooms, so they have to share a bed. In the middle of the night, the guy on the right wakes up and says, I had this wild, vivid dream of getting a hand job. The guy on the left wakes up, and unbelievably, he's had the same dream too. Then the guy in the middle wakes up and says, that's funny, I dreamed I was skiing. Bad in bed. A doctor and his wife were having a big argument at breakfast. You aren't so good in bed either, he shouted and stormed off to work. By mid-morning, he decided he'd better make amends and called home. What took you so long to answer? I was in bed. What were you doing in bed this late? Getting a second opinion. Naked dinner. A man and a woman were celebrating their 50th anniversary. They were talking before their dinner about how they should celebrate their big evening. The woman decided she would cook a big dinner for her husband. Then he said they should do what they did on their wedding night and eat at the dinner table naked. The woman agreed. Later that night at the table, the woman says, honey, my nipples are as hot for you as they were 50 years ago. The man replies, that's because they are sitting in your soup. Blowjob. A teenager is walking downtown and a girl whispers to him, blowjob. $5. He gives her a strange look and keeps walking. Soon, another girl does the same thing. Confused, he keeps walking. The first thing out of his mouth when he returned home was, Mom, what's a blowjob? His mom replies, $5, just like downtown. Who enjoys sex more? A man and a woman were having drinks when they got into an argument about who enjoyed sex more. The man said, men obviously enjoy sex more than women. Why do you think we're so obsessed with getting laid? That doesn't prove anything, the woman countered. Think about this: when your ear itches and you put your finger in it and wiggle it around, then pull it out, which feels better, your ear or your finger? Sniff test. A woman walked into a very busy butcher's shop. Looking at meats and poultry on display, she suddenly grabbed hold of a dressed chicken. She picked up one wing, sniffed it, picked up the other wing and sniffed it. Picked up one leg, sniffed it, picked up the other leg, sniffed it. Just as she finished sniffing the second leg, the butcher walked up to her and said, Madam, could you pass such a test? If you could. A farmer is lying in bed with his wife when he turns to her, grabs her tits and says, honey, if you could get milk out of these we could sell the cow. Then he grabs her pussy and says, honey, if you could get eggs out of here we could sell the chickens. She turns to him, smiles, grabs his dick and says, honey, if you could get this up I could get rid of your brother. Sexual exhaustion. A teacher was wrapping up class, and started talking about tomorrow's final exam. He said there would be no excuses for not showing up tomorrow, barring a dire medical condition or an immediate family member's death. One smart-ass male student said, what about extreme sexual exhaustion? And the whole classroom burst into laughter. After the laughter had subsided, the teacher glared at the student, and said, not an excuse, you can use your other hand to write. 3 girlfriends. Your best friend has 3 girlfriends. Their names are Do, Ray, and me. All 3 wants to do something special, so they set up some dates. 3 days ago Do kisses him. 2 days ago Ray gives him vaginal sex. Yesterday, who sucks his dick? Blowjobs for money. A husband comes home to find his wife with her suitcases packed in the living room. Where the hell do you think you're going? He says. I'm going to Las Vegas. You can earn $400 for a blow job there, and I figured that I might as well earn money for what I do to you free. The husband thinks for a moment, goes upstairs, and comes back down. With his suitcase packed as well. Where do you think you going? The wife asks. I'm coming with you. I want to see how you survive on $800 a year. Police officer. A police officer was patrolling the highway when he sees a guy tied up to a tree, crying. The officer stops and approaches the guy. What's going on here? He asks. The guy sobs, I was driving and picked up a hitchhiker. He pulled a gun on me, robbed me, took all my money, my clothes, my car, and then tied me up. The cop studied the guy for a moment, and then pulled down his pants and whipped out his dick. I guess this isn't your lucky day, pal. Old couple. An old man and an old lady are getting ready for bed one night when all of a sudden the woman bursts out of the bathroom, flings open her robe, and yells, "Super pussy!" The old man says, "I'll have the soup." Bad father. There was once a father that does not like to give things to doctors who helped him cure his sickness. One day, his daughter bought a dress for the doctor. The father stripped the dress. Then, the daughter bought a hamster and named it Nipples. However, the father squeezed it to death. Finally, the daughter bought some milk, but the father finished the milk off. The daughter complained to her mother, "Daddy stripped off my dress, squeezed my nipples and drank all my milk."